163. Option of principle of proportional representation for the appointment of directors. Notwithstanding anything contained in this act, the articles of the company may provide for the appointment of not less than 2/3 of the total number of directors of a company in accordance with the principle of proportional representation, whether by a single transferable vote or by a system of cumulative voting or otherwise, and such appointments may be made once in every 3 years, and casual vacancies of such directors shall be filled as provided in subsection 4 of 161. That's all. I wait. Jana Gana Mana or one sentence. This is the principle of proportional representation. In Japali, wow. I'll read it again. Notwithstanding anything contained in this act, the articles of the company may provide for the appointment of not less than 2/3 of the total number of directors of a company in accordance with the principle of proportional representation, whether by single transferable vote or a system of cumulative voting or otherwise, and such appointment may be made once in every 3 years, and casual vacancies of such directors shall be filled as provided in subsection 4 of section 161. This principle of proportional representation given in section 163 is a unique concept by itself. Listen carefully. It's not just a method of appointment of director. It's a complete unique ideology, complete concept by itself. I'll slowly come into the subject. Please concentrate now. The first drawback you find in the present Companies Act. First, let us understand from the discussion so far we had, what is the first drawback you find in the present Companies Act? The first drawback is 51% majority concept. That's the drawback. When you go through section 160, 169 and 162, that group, already told you, that group which has got 51% shares can appoint all the directors and remove all the directors, and that group holding 49% of the shares cannot appoint or remove even a single director. This is the drawback Companies Act. Let's take a company with a capital of say 10,000 crores. Just a visual thinking. A capital of 10,000 crores. That group which is holding 5,100 crores, complete management goes to them. And that group which has invested as high as 4,900 crores cannot appoint or remove even a single director. In fact, this is the advantage in partnership. Every fellow who becomes a partner has automatic right of management, but here it is not there. So this is the first biggest drawback in the present Companies Act. So 49% minority interests are not protected. Minority interest ante I am not talking religious minority. No problem in country law. So minority shareholders means what I am talking? Those shareholders who are not holding majority shares. So practically 49% of the shares, that group. That is the first drawback. Is that clear? Second big drawback, let us see. Now look at the slide. 5 groups of shareholders came together and started a company, ABC Management Consultants Limited, Professional Consultants Limited, something like that. And what is the idea? Chartered accountants group, company secretaries, cost accountants, lawyers, advocates, management consultants will all come together. And under one roof, they are going to provide consultancy services. So they started a company called ABC Professional Consultants Limited or Private Limited. Then what is the understanding? Group A, Chartered Accountants Group, they will hold 20% shares. That is the understanding. Group B, they will hold 20%, Group C 20%, Group D 20%, like that. Each group will hold how much? 20% shares. And there was an understanding, each group will appoint two directors. So totally we'll have only 10 directors, understanding, not 12 or 15. We'll have only 10 directors. Each will appoint two directors. Fair enough. Idea is good. So they started a company. This is the shareholding pattern among them. And there were 10 directors. Now tell me, this particular understanding under the present Companies Act, based on the discussion we had so far, can you sustain it? Can you follow it? Is it tenable? Can you continue this? No. Why no? If 3 groups come together, A, B, C, 3 groups come together, what will happen? They are holding how much? 60%, more than 51%. So what they will do? They will throw out Group D and Group E directors. Under 169, what they will do? Pass ordinary resolution and throw out D and E. And after some time, what will happen? Musical chairs they will play. Musical chairs ante telsa. One fellow from this group will shift to the other group. Let us say after some time what happens? These C, D, E come together. They will throw out A and B. So from this discussion, group interest cannot be protected under the present Companies Act. So the 2 examples which I told you, first one is what? Minority interest cannot be protected, group interest cannot be protected. These are the 2 major drawbacks in the present Companies Act. This drawback is set right. This major drawback is set right by the principle of proportional representation under section 163, which we are going to discuss. All of you listen. What he is saying is, in this system, forget single transferable vote, cumulative transferable vote, they are all systems of voting. We are not bothered. You remember this one sentence very carefully. Very, very carefully remember this sentence. Listen very attentively. In this system, directors are appointed by the shareholders in proportion to the shares held by them. ఈ ఒక్క సెంటెన్స్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. Directors are appointed by the shareholders in proportion to the shares held by them. Everything is in the material. Nothing to worry. Just concentrate. ఈ సిస్టంలో ఏమవుతుందంటే, listen very carefully. Suppose if 12 directors are to be appointed, right? I am holding 25% of the shares. How many directors I can appoint? 3 directors. Suppose totally 10 directors are to be appointed. I am holding 20% shares. I can appoint 2 directors. Directors are appointed by the shareholders in proportion to the shares held by them. No separate resolution here. If you are holding 60% shares, you can appoint 60% of the directors. Here also majority concept. Here also majority concept. Unless you have majority shares, you cannot appoint majority directors. But here minority interest is protected. Suppose 12 directors are to be appointed. I am holding how much? 8.33% shares. I will be eligible to appoint 1 director. Or I am holding 25% of the shares, I can appoint 3 directors. Group interest is protected here. Come on, in my given example, so long as you hold 20% of the shares, you will be in a position to appoint 2 directors. So the purpose of this section is to protect group interest and minority interest. This sentence you remember. How the directors will be appointed? By the shareholders in proportion to the shares held by them. That system of voting is single transferable vote, cumulative voting, that you don't bother. Ballot papers is there. Just like our general election, ballot papers will be there. Go on listening. So some 15 candidates are there. How many to be elected? Say 10. So the fellow will put a tick. First transferable, second tick, third tick, like that. And he will put it. So those who have got more ticks, come on, the first 10 fellows will be elected. That's all. It's a system of voting. Second preference vote. If one fellow is elected, his votes will be added to second fellow. It's a very complicated system of voting that you don't bother. Single transferable vote or cumulative transferable vote. That's all. Fine. Now, one more problem is coming. Sir, if you allow this principle of proportional representation under 163, one biggest problem is, how are you going to implement 160? 160 says, come on, every director should be appointed by ordinary resolution. How are you going to implement 162, which we discussed just now? Every director should be appointed by separate resolution. But here it is not possible. Here what happens? In a single resolution, all the directors will be appointed. 10 or 12 fellows will be appointed at a time. Notwithstanding anything contained in this act. First sentence. That means what? Notwithstanding anything contained in this act means it's a non-obstantive clause, which means when don't say when this section applies, others will not apply. What you have to give interpretation is, when this section applies, other contradictory sections to this section will not apply. So we give preference to this section. So when this section applies, come on, other inconsistent section will not apply. This section will override other sections. For example, 152. What is that 152? Come on. Rotational, non-rotational, all that will not apply in this case. 2/3 will be rotational, non-rotational. It's not possible to follow this. That will not apply. Another example, 160 will not apply. Because everyone has no special notice, nothing is not possible here. That will not apply. The next 162, just now we discussed, every resolution, separate resolution, not possible. So this section will override because of the use of the word notwithstanding anything contained in this act. The next point is saying, this will apply to all companies, public and private, other than government companies. Earlier, the old Companies Act, this will not apply to private company. Now it is included. It will apply to private company also. Listen, I am not joking. Hundreds and thousands of chartered accountants and company secretaries and advocates have forgotten this section. Many people, many clients go to them and ask, sir, we want to incorporate a company. We are 3 groups. We are 3 partners, something like that. We will invest 33%, and each group will appoint 3 directors. Totally, we'll have 9 directors. Sir, please make us permanent director. What the chartered accountant says? No. Jayaraman said there is no concept of permanent director in the Companies Act. Because many of the companies which are incorporated, many of the promoters told me that, sir, all these chartered accountants are misleading. You can suggest 163. Is it clear? Because huge money cannot be invested by one group. Today they are all big 5-6 promoters coming together. So, what do you understand? If you are holding 20% shares, you can appoint 20% of the directors. And we'll discuss later on, under 169, directors appointed under the principle of proportional representation cannot be removed from office. So, they are permanent directors for a period of 3 years. So, this section applies to public as well as private company. You can always suggest them, you please amend the articles and introduce this system. Next, articles must specifically provide. So, when this will apply? Only when the articles specifically provide, whether in a private or public company. Next point, what is he saying? not less than 2/3 must be appointed under the principle. Don't get confused with that 2/3. Rotational, non-rotational, don't go near it. We are not discussing 152 subsection 6 and 7. The whole section will not apply here. Here I am discussing different. Listen. Suppose if 12 directors are there in the company and you want to appoint the 12 directors. There are 12 directors in the company and you want to appoint, come on, all the 12 directors. Always better you appoint all the 12 directors under the principle of proportional representation. But what the law says, if you appoint all the 12 directors under the principle of proportional representation, excellent, no subject of discussion there. But what the law says, at least 2/3 must be appointed under the principle, once you adopt the principle. So out of 12, at least how much? 8 has to go under the principle. 8 has to go under the principle. Then what will happen to the remaining 4? You write in the articles how you will appoint them. I give you freedom. It's not necessary. All the 12 directors, 15 directors, 20 directors, once you adopt the principle, has to go under the principle. How many people has to go under this principle? Not less than 2/3 has to go under the principle. Fraction will be rounded off as 1. Has to go under the principle. What will happen to the remaining directors? Remaining directors will be appointed as per the articles. For example, listen. One company went for the principle of proportional representation. Option 1. All the 12 directors will go under the principle. Problem solved. Option 2. 8 will go under the principle. Remaining 4 will be as per articles. So you write in the articles, the remaining 4 law, 2 will be promoted directors. They will hold office for life. 1 will be additional director. You are getting? 1 will be nominee director. You write whatever you want. Let those 4 directors not go under the principle. I am giving you freedom. Next issue. These directors will hold office for 3 years. These directors will hold office for 3 years. So, when I go to 169, we'll discuss they cannot be removed from office during this period of 3 years. So, in other words, if at all there is a concept of permanent director in the Companies Act, these are all permanent director for a period of 3 years. Then, what will happen after 3 years? What will happen after 3 years? Based on the shareholding pattern, again the voting will take place. Again they will be appointed for 3 years. Like that the system will go on. After 3 years, they shall again be appointed by the members based on the shareholding pattern and the process is carried on. Sir, you may ask one doubt. Suppose one of the director resigns or dies or is disqualified. It will become a casual vacancy. So next point, what is he saying? Treat them as a casual vacancy and you go as per section 161 subsection 4. What that section says? Come on, board will appoint. The matter will go to general meeting. General meeting has to approve. Fine. Casual vacancy, can fill it up. These are the 10 points. If you break up, this is the principle of proportional representation. About 20 minutes back, you did not understand one word. Once you break up and see, now you will understand fantastically. This is the principle of proportional representation. So without looking, tell me, directors are appointed by the shareholders in proportion to the shares held by them. The idea is to give protection to group interest and minority interest. This section will override all other inconsistent sections. This will apply to both public and private companies. Articles has to specifically provide. Then not less than 2/3 will go under the principle. Remaining directors will be as per articles you decide. They'll hold office for 3 years. So during 3 years, they cannot be removed. Then after 3 years, the system will continue. If there is some casual vacancy, treat as a casual vacancy under 164 and they will fill up. You may ask a question, sir. At present, there are 5 groups, A, B, C, E. 20% shares they are holding. Now, after 1.5 years, A group is selling their shares to B group. A group is selling the shares to B group. Naturally, B group will say, I don't want that A group directors also should be there. Because when you are selling the shares, why should they stay for 3 years? So what you will do then? Ask them to resign. Are you clear? Ask them to resign. Then casual vacancy will come. B group will appoint his directors and he will hold office until the period casual vacancy ante. Until the period original director would have held office. That problem also is solved. This is the principle of proportional representation. So within the parameters of Companies Act, minority interest and group interest are also protected if you want to follow this. So look at not frequently at given question, but now the torture will start. He has not yet given so far, maybe one question he gave. A company in its articles provided for the appointment of not less than 2/3 of the total directors according to principle of proportional representation. Can the directors so appointed be removed by the company in general meeting? But it depends on the marks. If he has given for 4-5 marks, you have to write many points, not directly jumping into the answer. So I told you 10 points low, some 5-6 points, relevant points you can write. And main point you have to highlight, come on, under 169, they are specifically said, when we go there, we'll discuss, directors appointed on the principle of proportional representation cannot be removed from office. That's it.